Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President and CEO of the National Business Aviation Association, Ed Bolen.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our second day opening general session. We're very excited to begin today's session with the presentation of NBAA's highest award, the NBAA Meritorious Service Award. Over the years, this award has always been presented to our nation's best. The award's been given to Charles Lindbergh, to Juan Trippe, to Jimmy Doolittle, to industry legends like Olive Ann Beach, Al Yulchi, and Russ Meyer. Last year, the award was given to Clay Lacy. Today, we have a special honor in giving it to the Tuskegee Airmen. The trophy that you see here has been hand-delivered to all of our winners, and we're excited that at the conclusion of today's event, this beautiful trophy will be delivered and displayed in the Tuskegee Museum. Now, I've already told you that this year's winner will be the Tuskegee Airmen, and I'd like to tell you a lot about who they are, but we decided that maybe we ought to find someone a little better at storytelling than me. So we brought in George Lucas. George Lucas planned to be here today. He called me last week and said, "You have to understand, something has come up. I can't explain it, but I think you'll understand." Last night we found out that Lucasfilms was sold to the Disney company, and that's concluding today. Nevertheless, we do have a video from George Lucas, who, as all of you know, is the producer of Red Tails. It's a magnificent movie, and all of you should have a DVD on your chair. We know if you haven't seen the movie already, you'll enjoy it. But please join me as we now watch a video tribute to the Tuskegee Airmen from George Lucas himself.
I would like to thank you at the NBAA and everybody else for honoring the Tuskegee Airmen for all the great work and the amazing exploits and the fantastic job they did in protecting our country during World War II. Since I can't be with you today, I have put together a short clip video clip of all the exploits of the Tuskegee Airmen and all the great things they've done, and I hope you enjoy it.
While America took her stand in World War II, one particular group of aviators fought bravely and flew with distinction. They were known as the Tuskegee Airmen, and they were the first African-American pilots to fly in the history of the United States military.
We were the local rock stars of the black community.
Their legacy will be heroes, American warriors who were sacrificing their lives for our country, and they did it selflessly, and they did it as a unit of African-American men.
Yes, sir. Their courage, their bravery, their dedication, the sacrifice, for me, it's such a huge responsibility to make sure that that story is told.
The Tuskegee Airmen enthusiastically heeded the call of duty to fight for their country and prove their patriotism in time of war. Flying the P-40 and the legendary P-51 Mustang, the Tuskegee Airmen were renowned for fiercely protecting the U.S. bomber planes en route to their targets. Their combat victories earned 96 Flying Crosses.
And in every moment, it was, we have to bring this truth to the screen, and we have to do it in a way that we bring honor to these men.
For our generation, we have a lot of athletes, a lot of rappers that are doing amazing things in the world and in the community. But we have to know that we stand on the shoulders of these heroes.
They're the knights of the contemporary age and an inspiration to young people today.
I hadn't learned anything about the Tuskegee Airmen in school.
Sisters Kimberly and Kelly Onyedike are the next generation of pilots, influenced by the Tuskegee Airmen. It was here in Compton they not only learned about the Airmen, They met them, and now these teenagers each own aeronautical records. Kelly, the first African-American female to pilot a plane coast to coast, and she did it with the Tuskegee Airmen by her side. And Kimberly is the first to solo 4 different airships in one day. The Tuskegee Airmen inspired them.
Instead of living life on the sidelines, the Tuskegee Airmen were able to step out and do something and be something different than what was expected of them. That's the reason why they're my heroes. Like, they proved that when everybody said they couldn't do something, they did it, and they did it the best.
These men are amazing. Throughout the whole process, I always felt like I was with my grandfathers, you know, and I just felt so comfortable with them. And it was just really awesome to just know that everything that we were doing, they were proud.
The Red Tails were awarded the Congressional Gold Medal in recognition of their service and sacrifice during World War II. The group was also awarded the Presidential Unit Citation for its longest bomber escort mission to Berlin, Germany, where the Red Tails destroyed 3 of Nazi Germany's fighter jets and damaged 5 more. Returning as heroes, they were key contributors to the American Civil Rights Movement. Please join us as we take a moment to honor the legacy of the Tuskegee Airmen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored and delighted to be able to present the Tuskegee Airmen today with a panel discussion that I think you'll find very interesting. We have with us, as you can see, a number of the Tuskegee Airmen themselves, but also a number of other people who have been touched and influenced by their lives and by their example. Joining us today for the panel discussion is Barrington Irving. Barrington is the youngest person and the first African American to circumnavigate the globe. Actor Elijah Kelly is with us from Hollywood. You recognize him from Hairspray and his often appearances on the Oprah Winfrey Show. You will also recognize him in Red Tails as Samuel Joker George. Colonel Charles McGee was a consultant on the Red Tails movie. More importantly, he flew for the Red Tails in World War II. He also flew in the Korean War and in Vietnam. Collectively, Colonel McGee has flown 409 combat missions.
Wow. Yeah. That's above and beyond. That's above and beyond.
Colonel Leo Gray is with us today. Colonel Gray flew in World War II, spent 41 years in the military. He is the person who started the East Coast chapter of the Tuskegee Airmen. Colonel Alexander Gray is also with us today. Colonel Gray flew 19 combat missions before he was shot down. He is the author of a book, Red Tail Captured, Red Tail Free. Fig Newton retired from the Air Force in the year 2000 at the rank of 4-star general. He was also a pilot with the Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds, yes.
Yeah, right one. Yeah, that's the correct one. Yeah.
I know they get a little sensitive about that. And then finally, to moderate the panel, we have the man that Bob Hoover has recently described as the best pilot in the skies today, 3-time world champion, Sean D. Tucker. Over to you, Sean.
Well, you guys hear me okay? I'm not 3-time world champion, and I could not
the knowledge I have in my little finger is what Bob has taught me, and I could never compare to Bob Hoover. So I'd like to honor you, Mr. R.A., Bob Hoover, and Gene Cernan, because they're the guys. But we're in the aviation business, and our business is fueled on passion. This isn't the easiest business in the world to make a living at, but we're special. And to keep that passion fired up, we need to be inspired. And today, and this is why this room is so full, gentlemen, this room is so full because of you. And so we are really honored to have you here. You did shatter a myth. You helped complete us as human beings. I'm so honored to be here. And I'd like to start with Barrington. Now, Barrington, I've seen Barrington work, and this kid is such the real deal. I mean, he flew around the world, and which is quite an accomplishment. But what he shares with these kids at these air shows day in and day out is phenomenal. Hardest working guy in the business. Thanks for being here, Barrington. So could you tell us a little bit about what the Tuskegee Airmen means to you?
Yeah, it's a tremendous opportunity to stand here on stage and share this moment with the Tuskegee Airmen. After I was introduced to aviation, one of the first organizations I participated in was the Tuskegee Airmen chapter that Leo started down in Miami. And their mentorship and guidance and inspiration and just a legacy and being able to continue to tell that story, it's something that I see as an obligation, because I wouldn't be sitting here if they didn't pave the way for me to have the opportunity.
And will you promise me one thing? When you're all done on your next journey, and you got to pay attention to this guy, he's going to have 7 million followers right now going around the world. Again, when you're all done with this project, can we check you out in that red-tail P-51 Mustang?
It would be an honor.
I'm going to work on that, my friend. Movie star, Elijah Kelly. Elijah, how important was it for you to get it right?
Well, as you can see, these guys are very intimidating. I read lines for a living. They save lives. So, to get that right, it's something special. When you get to touch and look in the eyes of tangible heroes, I always say every time I get a chance that the Marvel movies, the Batmans, the Supermans, all these things, like, they make all this money, they tell these incredible stories, but these are our true knights in shining armor. They saved the world on our behalf. And like you said, they made us whole as a human race, being able to bring the concept of being inferior as African-American pilots down and shatter that myth is just, it's bar none one of the greatest things that's ever happened in history.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you very much.